Peru News Today. All you need to know about Peru.
A Peruvian citizen sentenced to 35 years in prison for the feminicide of Mexican Blanca Arellano. The sexist crime occurred in 2022, when the woman traveled to Peru to meet the man after meeting him on the internet. This Tuesday afternoon, the Peruvian Judiciary handed down a sentence of 35 years in prison against the Peruvian citizen Juan Villafuerte Pinto for the feminicide of the Mexican Blanca Arellano Gutiérrez, a sexist crime that occurred in the city of Huacho, near Lima, in November 2022. The accused inflicted several blows on the victim, causing deliberate suffering in the victim, explained the judge in charge of the case. The feminicide occurred on the night of November 6, 2022, although the couple had met a year before. According to the story read by the judge, a relative of Arellano maintained a video game company in which Villafuerte and the Mexican woman were registered. They met through virtual games and a month later they decided to establish a relationship, always virtual, through Facebook messages. At one point, the couple decided it was time to meet, so Arellano sold her car, a bicycle, and designer clothes to finance her trip to Peru. The family said goodbye to Blanca Arellano at the Mexico City airport and she arrived in Lima excited on July 28. She and Villafuerte made a couple of trips through Peru and then settled in a room in Huacho, about 3 hours from the capital. Everything was going normally until a few months later, when the Peruvian met another woman and began a new romantic relationship. The situation worsened between Arellano and Villafuerte to such a point that, according to the story read by the judge, the man looked for a way to get rid of the Mexican woman. On the afternoon of November 6, Villafuerte moved from Lima to Huacho. On the way he disconnected the GPS from his phone and that night, according to authorities, he committed the crime. He brutally beat, murdered, beheaded and dismembered Arellano. The crime shocked Peruvians when 3 days later some fishermen from the port of Huacho found the faceless head. Hours later, an arm, and the next day some farmers found the woman's torso in an irrigation field. She had no organs. It was Arellano's niece who days later, after losing communication with her aunt, filed a missing person report. Villafuerte told her that Blanca had gotten bored and returned to Mexico. The authorities were able to identify the parts of Blanca's body thanks to a silver ring still attached to one of her dismembered fingers. The case was so outrageous that the Peruvian press said at the time that it was the worst feminicide recorded to that date in the Andean country. The man was arrested and the long process for femicide against the Mexican citizen Blanca Arellano began.
Peru News Today. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.